Hello, my name is Alejandra, and today I'm going to be responding to Trajan and Kevin. So first, I want to bring up their first point. They mentioned that fetus is murder and how abortion is just an end to a life. However, if they're really against ending lives, maybe they should be against women actually having children, since you are more likely to die from having a child than having an abortion. Modern abortion procedures are extremely safe, according to an article on News 24 on why abortion should be legal. The risk of a woman's death from abortion is less than 1 in 100,000, where the risk of a woman dying from giving birth is 13.3 deaths per 100,000 pregnancies. Just to kind of give a comparison, in an article by David Grimes on the Huffington Post, from dying from an abortion is just as likely as dying from paddling a canoe. So a lot of you probably don't paddle canoes. So given this fact, the current preoccupation of state legislatures that gynecology and not canoes clearly stems from partisan politics and not concerns about public health. So in reality, if you continue with the child, there's more complications in carrying your child and continuing with the birth. There are more complications in pregnancy as well than abortion. And according to the CDC, about 60% of women having live births will develop one or more complications of pregnancy, birth, and the postpartum interval. This translates into more than 2 million women per year in the US. So now I'm going to talk about their second point, which is that fetuses feel pain. What Trajan said about after 8 weeks, their spinal cord does begin to form. However, it's not really considered complete until the 26th weeks. The neuroanatomical system for pain is complete by the 26th weeks. And this is according to a British medical journal. So either way, surgeons' use of anesthesia and painkillers when operating on the fetuses in the womb does not prove that the fetuses feel pain. According to the New York Times, an article by Pam Bella, anesthesia is given to the mother reaching a fetus, said Dr. Scott Adzik, a fetal surgeon at Children's Hospital Philadelphia. Fetuses receive muscle relaxants and narcotics. The drugs are given to prevent maternal pain, immobilize the fetus, relax the uterus, and block harmful effects. Next, I want to talk about why their solution of adoption isn't going to work. So there are more children who are not adopted than adopted. According to the Adoption and Foster Care Statistics Children's Bureau website of hcf.hs.gov, of the 400 children in foster care, more than 100,000 of them are available to be adopted. The average age of a child in foster care is more than 8 years old, and there are slightly more boys than girls. So you give your baby up for adoption, but the average that they stay there is about 8 years. And they are actually more likely to become homeless if they're not adopted. Sure, there are a lot of foster care programs, but Kevin did mention that they want to fulfill their lives and that each life has a chance, but this one doesn't. Not only that, the adoption process is very difficult. According to an article on Livestrong.com, it is typically a long, drawn-out process. Not only do you have to decide how you're going to adopt, you have to get a lawyer, apply, and all of that, which is totally understandable because you're adopting a child. It's not some kind of, I don't know, turtle. You're adopting a human. So, which brings to my next point, the expensiveness. Adoption process is very expensive and most families cannot afford them. The cost of a domestic adoption can range from $15,000 to $50,000, and this is according to adopted families. The median cost, however, is $30,000 to $45,000, and most Americans can say that they cannot afford the entire cost, and it can take years years to actually be able to have a baby, or the child to adopt. Next, really quickly, pain, and they noticed that, they said a lot about how women have mental health problems after having an abortion. However, abortions are not exactly linked to the cause of mental health problems, and according to the American Psychological Association, they concluded that there is no credible evidence that a single elective abortion of an unwanted pregnancy is the cause of mental health problems itself. So there are actually different variations that can cause the mental health problems. And this includes, for example, a history of drug and alcohol abuse, emotional problems, exposure to violence, and actually those who had abortions are no more likely to have depression than those who have given birth, according to an article by Maria Chang. Abortion does not increase a woman's chance of developing mental health problems, according to British Health Agency's review of dozen studies worldwide over 20 years. Now I'm going to be talking about the disadvantages of making Roe versus Wade, of overturning Roe versus Wade, and that's that illegal abortion will put women at risk, according to Public Health Watch. In 1975, when abortion was still illegal nationwide, except in cases of life endangerment, at least 193 women died from illegal abortions, and Roe versus Wade actually made abortion safer. According to the same article, only 36% of abortions were performed at or before 8 weeks of pregnancy. Today, 91.9% of all legal abortions are performed within the 13 weeks of pregnancy, which we can say that is safer for the child as well, because they do not feel pain. And also, abortion can save lives, because there are thousands of women with heart disease, kidney disease, severe hypertension, and who really need abortion in order to soften them.